let's say you're listening to this and you're interested, obviously you've been doing this for some time now. So what tips do you give people if when they're coming and they say, hey, I'll be a great guest, but you're like, no, you should start your own podcast. So how do you tell people to start a podcasting or content journey?
Well, I don't know if I would tell anyone to start a podcast. I mean, I think it's a personal choice. I think
Sure.
there's a lot of value in it. So if someone said to me, and I do get that a lot, which I'm sure you probably do too, is people ask me for advice and tips and help and everything else. And I guess I would say, okay, well, first of all, why do you want to start a podcast? I think some people do it for vanity metrics and they think, they want to be famous or they want to be the next Joe Rogan. I've heard that before and all this kind of stuff, right? So ask yourself, why do you want to start a podcast? What's your purpose? And then once you know what that is, then how are you going to execute that where you're going to actually achieve what you're setting out to do? So for example, my goal for my podcast, from like I said, the very beginning was I wanted to help business owners create brand equity for their businesses, right? And so everything I do about my podcast, everybody I bring on, every question I ask, when I edit it, I'm always putting my head in the mindset of my listeners who are entrepreneurs and business owners and what is going to help them. What's going to help them on this journey? I want them to be able to walk away from my podcast with at least one or two tips that are going to help them with their business. And if not, if the guest isn't going to do that, or if the podcast isn't going to do that, then it's all for nothing. And so I guess to answer your question, when you know what your podcast is and what your purpose is and why you're doing it, then just make sure that everything that you do aligns with what your purpose is and keep that in the back of your mind. I think, and and who your audience is. And I think that'll help you.